example 11, DME, which is distance measuring equipment, is standard avionic equipment on a commercial airplane. This equipment measures the distance from a plane to a radar station. If the distance from a plane to a radar station is 160 miles, the angle of depression is 33 degrees. Find the number of ground miles from a point directly below the plane to the radar station. So, they drew the picture for us. They don't always draw the picture, so again, knowing some vocabulary is helpful. So, it said angle of depression, so again, horizon coming off the plane, you look down for an angle of depression. It's from the horizon to the sight line of the whoever's looking at the direction. So this is the sight line, 33 degrees down. And going straight down, straight across, these two angles make a right angle, so that's 57 degrees over here in this corner. Angle of depression usually isn't in the triangle, so getting an angle inside the triangle is better than an angle outside. The other thing is, you have the horizon up here, you have the ground. These should be parallel to one another. So if that's 33, this down here is 33. That also works, which would be an angle inside. So if the angle of depression from the plane to the ground is 33, then the angle of elevation from the ground to the plane is also 33. So again, angles inside the triangle are better than angles outside the triangle, but angle of depression tends to be outside the triangle. So, and again, the distance from the plane to the station is 160. And they want to know the ground distance from the plane to the station. All right, so if they say ground distance, they want the distance along the ground. They want if they say the distance, they mean directly from the object to the object. So just kind of getting a feel for the vocabulary they're going to use to describe these situations, because again, they don't always draw the picture for you. Those are the harder problems because you have to draw the picture yourself. Make sure you identify everything properly. And again, anytime you do an angle of elevation or angle of depression, start with the horizontal, elevation up, depression down. So I've got a triangle drawn here. I've got two acute angles I can work with. I've got my right angle down here in the corner. I got to pick the acute angle I want to work with. Doesn't matter which one I choose. You guys want to go 57 or 33?
33.
33. So we'll use this one down here in the corner. So 33. If I go across, that makes the opposite side. If I go across, if I go across here, it's the hypotenuse, and opposite hypotenuse, that makes this the adjacent. All about the 33-degree angle. All right. So if I do this, I know the hypotenuse, and I want to know the adjacent. So again, if you know the angle, you're going to know one side, want to know another side. If you don't know the angle, you're going to have to know two sides. And whatever two sides are, that establishes which trig function will be helpful. But again, going back to SOHCAHTOA, adjacent hypotenuse is cosine, so cosine of the angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse. Once again, our calculator knows what we need to know. Cosine 33 equals 0.8387. So I cross multiply 1x is equal to 0.8387 times 160. That comes out to 134.19. And it doesn't specify there, so we'll go a couple decimal places. Now, just for the sake of looking at this, had I chosen the 57-degree angle, what that's going to change is now this is the opposite side. That's still the hypotenuse. That makes this the adjacent side. If I'm going to go at 57 degrees, notice opposite and adjacent tells me to use sine. That gets me sine of 57 degrees over 1 equals opposite over hypotenuse. Okay. Different, right? But if I type my calculator, sine of 57, it's 0.8387. Get the exact same expression. All right, so the point is, it doesn't matter which angle you use, just do it correctly, and you'll be in good shape. And again, the hard part of these problems is drawing the picture, so if it's one you have to draw the picture yourself, look for the vocabulary. Angle of depression, angle of elevation happen in almost every one of these problems. Always draw the horizontal. And again, angles inside the triangle are much more powerful than angles outside. So if you have an outside angle, look for parallel lines to create equal angles, or look for complementary angles to figure out the angle inside the triangle.